Nice trick. What do you do for an encore?
Which way?
There.
You know, working together, that can be kind of tough. You know, teamwork is tough, especially when your teammates have tried to kill you on several occasions. I'm sure these two will be fine, though. It's X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse. This is actually one of my favorite RPGs of its console generation. It really is. And it's not like it's some ridiculously deep or complex or challenging game. It's not. But that's what I love about it. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's fun. And once you start leveling up your favorite mutants, you can't stop. The power really becomes addictive. And using that power is a lot of fun too.
I guess y'all lose!
I'm liking this.
So if you're a big fan of the X-Men, you're gonna love the premise here. The evil Apocalypse has an evil plan, and to stop him, the X-Men and the Brotherhood are forced to work together, which is really cool. It's a partnership that's obviously gonna be strained, and that tension comes across during the cutscenes, even if the cutscenes aren't that good. But the premise alone, and this story of unlikely allies, it definitely makes things more interesting. Again, especially if you're a fan of these characters.
Indeed, Charles. It appears we both have a grievance with Apocalypse.
Speaking of which, there are a lot of characters in this game, and you can use them to create any team you want, any combination at all. And one thing I like to do is have some heavy hitters like Wolverine, just to plow through people, and then I like to surround them with a couple of ranged mutants, kind of like Jean Grey, or maybe Cyclops, mutants who can basically cover them and do work from a distance. There are about 15 characters in total, so you have lots of possible combinations. And messing around with those combinations and finding the ones that work, that's a huge part of the fun.
Ain't so tough now, are you, bub?
Of course, on the other hand, it's not like there are any combinations that don't really work. This really isn't a difficult game. And the thing is, you can turn your mutants into some serious powerhouses. Some of the upgrades and abilities you get, it's ridiculous. And I mean, on the one hand, that's something I like about the game. The upgrades are frequent and very noticeable, and seeing how much damage you can cause is just awesome. But, on the other hand, it's not long before your powers are overpowered. But that's the fun, right? It kind of reminds me of Infamous in that way. Being overpowered is the whole point. Of course, as fun as the gameplay is, it's not like it's terribly original. This is a really simple, really straightforward action RPG. You slash through enemies, crawl through dungeons, earn experience points, turn into a badass. If you're into games like Diablo or Baldur's Gate, you have a pretty good idea what to expect here. It's just, there are also X-Men in this one, and that's fine, you know? Honestly, the more important thing is that it's really well done. It plays great, and it's just insanely addictive to upgrade your mutants and manage their abilities. And you know, it doesn't look bad, especially for a decade-old game, but it's definitely a decade-old game. You know, there's some nice detail in the environments, but there sure is a lot of brown in this thing. It's definitely one of those muddy-looking PS2-era games. But the characters look pretty cool. They have that comic book, pseudo-cel-shaded style, which obviously works well for this particular series.
What have we here?
The sound doesn't work as well, though. I mean, the music's really boring. And even though there are some big-name voice actors here, some of the other voices are pretty laughable. I mean, if you're into bad voice acting, like, because it's bad, you might enjoy this, but otherwise, this is a game to mute.
I know the door you speak of. It was buried months ago during an earthquake.
Right you are, Wanda. You got it all. Beauty and intelligence. A man would be bloody lucky to have the affections of a woman like you, he would.
Please, show some self-respect.
Whoa! I'm just a really big fan of this game. It's the kind of game I can spend hours with and not even notice, you know? It's a real time sucker. And if you have friends to play with, all the better. This game's just awesome. It's not pretty by today's standards, certainly not much of a challenge, but look, if you're looking for a good X-Men game, that conversation begins and ends with Apocalypse. It's X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse. Big thanks to our friend Mark from Ontario for sending it in.
Cut it out, you two. Let the professor talk.
Let's get one thing straight, Boy Scout. I don't take orders from you.
See? It's just like I told you, Psych. Juggernaut ain't housebroken yet.
Gentlemen, please. Let us focus on more important matters.